The story of this horrible happening takes us back to the date of January 4th, 2014, and over to the Vail Ski Resort in Vail, Colorado, when 24-year-old Tony Seibert was spending the day on the mountain with a group of friends, skiing the East Vail Chutes, an area that's located just outside the resort's boundaries, when a massive section of snow broke free, crashing into the skiers, to which Tony couldn't escape from.
The grandson of Colorado Ski Resort co-founder Peter Seibert was killed in a Vail avalanche that trapped and injured 3 other people on Tuesday. The incident took place beyond resort grounds at the East Vail Chutes in an area known to be avalanche-prone.
Tony was born in November 1989 to parents Pete Jr. and Terry Seibert. Saying Tony was a wild child growing up would probably be a bit of an understatement. He always had a smile and a knack for causing havoc. When Tony was no more than 4 or 5, he was at a petting zoo with his father when his dad recalls hearing a high-pitched screech and upon turning around would find Tony with a cornered goose. Was Tony scared? Not even a little bit. Tony pounced on that bird like a cat, grabbing it by the neck before Tony's dad saved the bird from the sparring toddler. Needless to say, Tony had the type of personality that captured a room with just his mere presence.
Got some? Yeah! Yeah! I wanna walk down the other side of the mountain, do-do-do-do, to play in the river, in the sun. I wanna try to be nice to everyone. I wanna.
The night before the tragic incident, it had been snowing heavily, and Tony called a few of his friends to see who was up for some runs the next day with the fresh snow. And so that morning, when Tony arrived at the mountain, he and a friend took some warm-up laps before heading back to the chutes. As everyone arrived, the group made their way back to an area that is known as the East Vail Chutes. This area is just outside the ski resort's boundaries and usually isn't patrolled by ski patrol or avalanche mitigated, and should never be accessed by anyone that doesn't have proper training and equipment with them, which Tony and his friends were all equipped with on that day. As they got back to the chutes, they were standing in a group of trees, picking out their lines and discussing in what order they would drop in. One of the friends was a photographer and wanted to get some shots of the others in the deep snow, so they decided they'd go first and set up the camera, followed by the other 2 friends, and Tony being the last to drop in. As the photographer dropped in, they made a few turns in the powder and made their way to an area to get some good pictures. Next up were the 2 friends that dropped in one by one without any problems, making turns in the snow before coming to a stop close to the cameraman. As the 3 waited for Tony to drop, they discussed what they'd do if an avalanche by chance did occur. And just as Tony began to drop in, the group was thrown into the very situation the 3 had just discussed. The chutes erupted in what seemed like a never-ending roaring thunder, as a 12-foot high and 200-foot wide wall of snow came crashing down on the skiers. With barely any time to react, the group stuck to their plan, but the avalanche quickly swept them down the mountain, hurling one of them down a small cliff. As the snow finally came to a rest, the skiers managed to pull themselves up and call out to one another, but no one could hear from Tony, so the 3 rushed back up the mangled mountain to find him, one hobbling on a broken leg. As they reached a section of trees, they found Tony, facing downhill and unconscious. They quickly sprung into action, administering first aid and calling for ski patrol, who arrived quickly, along with other skiers that had been riding in the chutes. Everyone worked together for over an hour on Tony, trying to save him, before finally taking him down the mountain. Unfortunately, there was nothing more they could do. Tony Party Seibert was gone. Following the unfortunate passing, a celebration of Tony's life was held at the top of Vail Mountain, where it seemed like nearly the entire town attended. Tony Seibert's spirit will forever live on the slopes of Vail, and still to this day, every year on January 4th, a group rides down in Tony's honor as the mountain closes, and you're still guaranteed to see at least one Ride for Tony sticker on a pair of skis or snowboard while spending your day on the slopes. And just remember, when life has you down, just do what Tony would do and grab that bird with both hands and wring its damn neck.
To know we're so proud for what you did, cause we can see your eyes every morning, high over the mountain top, thinking about you, make we more time happy and sometimes sad, because we miss you, really miss you.